Wow. We got naturals at doing this. The voices sound so professional. That was good too, Team 3. Thank you. I want to say both to Team 2 and Team 3, as well as Team 1, but I forgot to mention it for Team 2. I really like all the charts and figures you're putting in there. And thank you. All right, Team 4.
Video 2.
Pardon me?
Video 2.
Video 2. That'll work. Control click.
Megan, we're not Team 4.
The wrong team's person speak
Yeah,
up?
team
Yeah,
4
we're
can
not
do.
Team 4.
Wait a minute. Let's go back. Team 4, what would you like?
We can do video 4.
Oh, I just closed it. Thank you.
This is a closing video of a 4-part set. The Eastern European region includes the Czech Republic, Hungary, Romania, Russia, and Ukraine. This video is provided to you in a collaborative effort by Ryan Burnett, Lauren Dewald, David Hill, Jordan Miller, and Nathan Scott. This video will focus on opportunities and presence of major U.S. businesses in our 5 countries, touching on the current presence of major U.S. businesses, challenges and potentials for those businesses, as well as relevance of environmental factors. I wanted to include this group of photos here to show that the U.S. truly is present all around the world, especially in these countries. What's more American than McDonald's? This is a collection of photos from each of our assigned countries. Each country does have a Mickey D's present in their cities. Our first country is Czech Republic. They have many large U.S. companies in this country, including Citigroup, Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and Microsoft. There are challenges with the Czech Republic that include rapidly aging population, shortage of skilled workers, and diversifying away from manufacturing. Though they are diversifying away from manufacturing, they are heading towards more high-tech services-based knowledge economy, so that is a potential. When we do have great U.S.-Czech diplomatic relations with Czechia. The first president of Czechoslovakia was elected in 1918 and used the U.S. Constitution as a model for their first constitution. Our next country is Hungary. It is a base for many multinational and American companies, specifically in heavy equipment and electronics manufacturing. And Budapest has several large advertising firms, including McCann Erickson and J. Walter Thompson. The challenges for Hungary include similar shortage of skilled workers. There is a delay in using the euro. The government has taken steps toward using it, but has not set a specific date. There's a political tendency to tax multinationals less favorably than domestic companies. And it does have an anti-immigrant rhetoric and policies. In the past 5 years, the country has lost some standing internationally because of anti-immigrant policies and standings. They have tendency to blame international organizations and business for economic problems. That being said, it has embraced many different cultures, and Hungary is Western looking in history, culture, and religion. Romania has Ford Romania, probably as their biggest company, Coca-Cola Company, Procter & Gamble, and IBM. The challenges with Romania are, again, aging population and immigration of skilled workers. They also have an insufficient healthcare system. Potential is already featuring these American companies particularly in the automotive, agriculture, and pharmaceutical fields. Russia has quite a few companies present as well, including 3M, Apple, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Visa. The challenges with Russia are, of course, there are the political debates going on with Russia, but that aside, Russia likely has more regulations and sanctions than most other countries. U.S. food and agriculture exports were banned in Russia after the Crimean Peninsula was annexed in 2014. The government is heavily involved in many aspects of the country's economy, and English is not a well-known language in Russia. They do have top sectors in terms of opportunistic growth for U.S. exports, including car parts and accessories, medical equipment, railways, and road construction. And there is an untapped market for infrastructure-related businesses due to the large population and wide rural outreach. Our last country is Ukraine, who has several companies present as well, including Citigroup, Coca-Cola, Visa, and the Boeing Company. There are challenges with Ukraine as well. Trading across Ukraine's border is a complicated ordeal. It requires 6 documents and 30 days to export. Heavy costs associated with both importing and exporting containers as well. Corporate income tax takes a considerable amount of time compared to their OECD counterparts, and the debt to Russia is a major consideration, with doing business with this country as well. A recent World Bank and International Finance Corporation revealed that Ukraine ranks 137th among 185 economies globally on the ease of doing business. But this is up 15 places from the previous year, so that shows potential that they are at least improvement. Despite that, challenges do remain for local entrepreneurs, with the country ranked among the bottom 20% of economies and 5 of 10 areas of regulation measured by this report. Ukraine has the worst rankings in Eastern Europe and Central Asia on registering property and resolving insolvency. Overall, these countries' economies are in recovery mode, which should influence future U.S. business and marketing opportunities within this region. Hungary and Czech Republic present as promising countries to invest. The Ukraine would be the least promising country to invest, with Russia as a balance of the appeal of the large population versus dealing with the severe governmental involvement.
Cool. Cool. So you guys did it different than the other group for the video for, but it was very effective. So thank you. That's the place I'd like to most visit, I think, is those countries. All right, Team 5.
Video 1.
Okay. Did you guys, I sent a message that video 2 is not here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, did you just use the arrow, the little white arrow over video 4?
Oh my God, you're telling me I'm that stupid? Look at the times on these. Okay, let's go.
We picked the shortest one, so.
I feel stupid now.
Middle East,
It's okay.
Persian Gulf countries. The Global Consumer Markets and Logistics Spring 2018 Final Project. Presented by Team 5, Kayla, Matthew, Carolina, Nicole, and Ashton. We start with Iran. The official name of Iran is the Islamic Republic of Iran. The language spoken is Persian. The currency used is Iran Rial. The population of Iran
is 81,690,089. Iran has the fourth largest petroleum reserves and largest natural gas reserves. Iran is the oldest civilization in the world, dating back to 3200-2800 BC. The major part, about 89% of the population in Iran, is Shia Muslim. 10% is Sunni Muslim, and the remaining is 1% are Christian, Zoroastrian, Baha'i, and Jewish. Iran is a very diverse country. Although the Iranian people do not collect information about ethnicity through its census, the largest ethnic groups are the Persians, Azerbaijanis. About 79% of the population belong to an Indo-European ethno-linguistic group. Persians account for 61% of the population, followed by the Kurds, the Lurs, and the Balochs. Other ethnicities account for the remaining 21%, including the Azerbaijanis, the Arabs, the Turkmens, the Turkic tribes, as well as the Armenians, Assyrians, and Georgians. The population of Iran is increasing at an alarming rate. This is due to the people migrating from the surrounding countries, Afghanistan and Iraq, for security reasons. The population of Iran changed and increased drastically during the past years, but is now expected to drop by 2001. The trade statistics for Iran. Iran is the 60th largest export economy in the world. In 2015, Iran exported $31.8 billion and imported $43.9 billion, resulting in a negative trade balance of $12.2 billion. The top exports of Iran are crude petroleum oil, ethylene polymers, acrylic alcohol, other nuts, and tea. Top imports are cars, corn, vehicle parts, jewelry, and flat-rolled steel. The top export countries are China, India, Japan, South Korea, and Turkey. The top import countries are China, South Korea, Turkey, India, and Germany. There's currently a trade ban between Iran and the U.S., so there's no trade statistics available at this time. The second is Kuwait. The population of Kuwait is 4,169,189. The capital city is Kuwait City. There is currently a crisis as far as the population of Kuwait. There is a large, their average age right now is 29 years old. So the population pyramid of Kuwait shows an unbalanced structure for the working age groups due to the high immigration rates and a large reliance on foreign labor. Nearly 98% of the population in Kuwait is urbanized, and about 83% of the total population resides in the capital city, Kuwait. The country also has an urbanization rate of 2.1% per year, so the number of rural people will slowly dwindle over the next decade. In 2007, Kuwait had the third highest net migration rate in the world at 16.01%, which was in part due to the discovery of oil and increased living standards in the country, which led to a large and growing immigrant population. The language spoken is Arabic, and the currency used is Kuwait dinar. The total exports for Kuwait are $46,241,982,282. The total imports are $30,820,170,692. The top three export countries are India, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab. The top three import countries are China, United States, and United Arab. The top three exported goods are oil and mineral fuels, organic chemicals, and motor vehicle parts. The top three imported goods are industrial machinery, motor vehicle parts, and electrical machinery. The Kuwait exported 67,327,000 to the United States and imported 2,948,175,312 from the United States. Saudi Arabia. Population of 33,314,429. It's officially known as the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's the second largest Arab state. The language spoken is Arabic, and the currency used is Saudi Arabia Royal. The capital city is Riyadh. It's reported that Saudi Arabia has over 2 million illegal immigrants. Saudi Arabia is the birthplace of religious Islam, which is one of the largest religions in the world. It is sometimes referred to as the land of the two holy mosques. This country has the second largest oil reserves in the world, which account for about 70% of the government's revenue and 95% of its exports every year. It also has the fourth largest natural gas reserves. Saudi Arabia is the only country in the whole world that has a law that prohibits women of the country to drive. Saudi Arabia exports $207,392,236,732. The total imports are $129,795,972,113. The top three export countries are United Arab, China, and India. The top three import countries are China, United States, and Germany. The top three export goods are oil and mineral fuel, plastics, and organic chemicals. The top three import goods are industrial machinery, motor vehicles, parts, and electrical machinery. Saudi Arabia exported to the United States $1,287,330,676 and imported from the United States $17,342,441,412. And finally, we'll end with Turkey. The population of Turkey is 81,493,199, officially known as the Republic of Turkey. The language spoken is Turkish. The currency is Turkish lira. It's in the Asia region. It's a transcontinental country that includes Anatolia in Western Asia and East Thrace in Southern Europe. The population density of Turkey is 98 people per kilometer square. The population is mainly comprised of Turkish people who make up 75% of the total population, while Kurdish make up 18%. Other ethnic groups take up the remaining 17% of the total population. The languages spoken by the majority are Turkish and Kurdish, while minority groups speak other languages. The trade statistics for Turkey. Total exports of $142,529,583,808. Total imports are $198,618,235,047. The top three export countries are Germany, United Kingdom, and Iraq. The top three import countries are China, Germany, and Russia. The top three exported goods are motor vehicle and parts, industrial machinery, and precious stones and metals. The top three imported goods are industrial machinery, oil and mineral fuel, and electrical machinery. Turkey has exported $6,623,715,959 to the United States and imported $10,987,797,593 to the United States. We really hope that you enjoyed our presentation on the Middle East and Persian Gulf.
That was well done too. You included all the information I needed. What was I going to say? Teams 4, or was it team? Who did Russia? Team 4 in those countries?
Yes.
I'm just saying, Team 4 and Team 5 had the most difficult countries to work with, and I appreciate your efforts. I wanted to point out one thing which was interesting. All the countries in Team 5 were exporting more than they're importing, but at the same time, the difference was the opposite with the U.S. For example, Kuwait was 1.26 million, or 126 million they were exporting, but 2.9 billion. Those are really good trade partners for us, and it was similar with Saudi. So it's okay to say 2.9 billion instead of all the. You don't have to give me all the numbers, but that was a good job too. All right, let's take a minute break from this, and I'll show you something else, and I'll go back to the last two. What I want to do is show you what we're going to do for next week. Okay. what I wanted to do for the next 8 weeks is get the textbook right out of the way because some of it's going to be applicable for the simulation. So we have 3 assignments due next Sunday night. Chapter 12 quiz, Chapter 15 quiz, and the Country Manager simulation quiz. I know this is a lot, but it'll give us a good head start. And so here's some instructions for the Country Manager to prepare you for the quiz. Read the case study. It's in the student manual. It's also on in our briefcase for BUS 641. Review the side menu items. You remember on the left-hand side, startup, environment, consumer, competition, decisions, and production. Take a look at all those just to see what's in them, and that'll help you with the quiz. Number 3, take a look at section 4 of the manual, and several of our assignments this will be applicable to a lot of our assignments, so I just want you to take a look at that. And number 4, complete the Country Manage quiz. It shouldn't be that difficult, okay? So again, how do I go back? How do I close this? Uh-oh.
You say escape.
Okay. Again, for next week, we're going to do Chapter 12 quiz, Chapter 15 quiz, and the Country Manager simulation quiz. And I'll send a announcement to the class in regards to that we are having class next week. We will have these 3 assignments due, and I will also send you a course schedule and the graded activities for the next 8 weeks. Questions, anybody?
When you're saying next Sunday, are you talking about like the 18th?
No, next Sunday is the 12th. What is it?
So this Sunday then.
This Sunday, yes.
Okay.
Prior to week 1. Prior to week 1 of term 2. So we'll get a good head start. You're going to do these anyway, so let's get them done. And I will do my best to get grades out, hopefully by next Monday, final grades for 641. And the other thing, I did talk to Interpretive Solutions, the Country Manager simulation, and everything should be the Asian market now. So if you have any problems, you're not getting the materials for Asia, please let me know. Okay, I'm going to close this. Okay, what do I want to X out of? Don't screw up. Zachary has raised his hand.
Is there anything due for the simulation other than the quiz?
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll spend most of our, you're welcome, we'll spend most of our class working on the simulation in teams. And I'll go from team to team in the classroom. Because we're going to have, I got rid of the individual practice round and we're going to go right into a team practice round. So again, look at those categories on the upper left-hand side. Try to go through those. And I'll also, in our first class, I'll go through our first assignment that's due for the simulation. Okay? I got to go back to video links. That's already open. We got 2 more to go. Team 6.
We're going to go with video 3.
Video 3. Good choice. Is that Derek?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome to Group 6's 3rd video in our 4-video series for Business 641. In this video, we will be discussing the cultural, legal, and political environments of Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland. Let's start out by looking at Norwegian culture. Of the ethnic groups in Norway, 83.2% are ethnic Norwegian, 8.3% other European, and 8.5% other ethnic groups. The languages spoken officially are Bokmål Norwegian, Norsk Norwegian, Sami, which is official in 9 municipalities, and some minorities speak Finnish and English. Of the religions in Norway, the official religion is the Church of Norway, which is an evangelical Lutheran denomination, of which 71.5% Norwegians practice. Other religions include Roman Catholic at 2.8%, other Christian at 3.9%, Muslim at 2.8%, other at 2%, and unspecified at 7.5%. Age distributions are 0 to 14 years of age, 18%, 15 to 24, 12.58%, 25 to 54, 41.01%, 55 to 64, 11.71%, 65 and up, 16.71%. The sex ratio is 1.02 males for every female. The culture and customs of Norway are high in individualism, uncertainty avoidance, and indulgence. They have a highly skilled labor market and are very well educated. Many Norwegians are multilingual, and the country is sparsely populated with a high social spending and safety net in place. They are a very egalitarian culture and dislike arrogance and condescension. Let's move on to Swedish culture. The main ethnic group is Swedish, with Finnish and Sami minorities. Immigrants are common from Finland, Syria, Iraq, Poland, and Iran. The official language is Sweden, with official minority languages including Finnish, Sami, Romani, Yiddish, and Minkali, with English also being used. The religions of Sweden include the Church of Sweden, Lutheran, which is 63% of the population. Other religions include Roman Catholic, Orthodox, Baptist, Muslim, Jewish, and Buddhists, making up another 17% of the total population. The age distribution of Sweden consists of ages 0 to 14, 17.43%, 15 to 24, 11.31%, 25 to 54, 39.42%, 55 to 64, 11.58%, and 65 and up, 20.26%. The gender and sex ratio is 1 to 1 male to female. As a culture, they have a high social spending amount with a large safety net with a high emphasis on individualism, long-term orientation, indulgence. Sweden is well-educated, multilingual, egalitarian, and they have a practice known as lagom, or moderation, which is a cultural trait emphasizing moderation in all things. Family is very important in Sweden, and many Swedes take in high salaries with strict employment regulations governing them. Sweden has strict advertising laws where no misleading information is allowed, and newspapers are a key source of advertising, and the nation as a whole has high internet usage. Next we have Danish culture. The ethnic groups in Denmark consist of Danish at 87.6%, Turkish at 1.1%, and other ethnicities at 12.2%, the largest of these groups including Polish, Syrian, German, Iraqi, and Romanian immigrants. The languages spoken include Danish, Faroese, Greenlandic, German, and English. Religions in Denmark are Evangelical Lutheran, which is the official religion, at 76%, Muslim at 4%, and other religions consisting of 20% of the population. Age distributions are 0 to 14 years of age, 16.41%, 15 to 24, 13.08%, 25 to 54, 38.76%, 55 to 64, 12.52%, and 65 and up making up 19.23% of the population. The sex ratio is 0.97 males to every female. As a culture, the Danish are high in individualism, indulgence. They are a modern society that is well educated with a large welfare system and one of the highest standards of living in the world. The Danes are relatively low in competitiveness, and advertising is big business with radio, newspapers, making up important amounts of advertising, and many Danes do not actually speak English. They as a society are very egalitarian and modest. Finally, we have Finnish culture. The ethnic groups of Finland are 93.4% Finn, 5.6% Swede, and 0.05% Russian. The languages spoken are Finnish as the official language at 88.3%, Swedish, which is also official at 5.3%, Russian at 1.4%, and other languages consisting of 5%. Religions include Lutheran 72%, Orthodox 1.1%, other religions 1.6%, and unspecified 25.3%. The age distribution is 0 to 14 years, 16.43%, 15 to 24 years, 11.4%, 25 to 54, 37.78%, 55 to 64, 13.29%, and 65 and up, 21.1%. Sex ratio is 0.097 males poverty avoidance and indulgence. With a rapidly aging population, workers should have high pay and work fewer hours than the international average with a high quality of life. They are high competitive and have a lot of transparency. Newspapers account for half of advertising, and English is used for communication, but documents need to be translated into Finnish for official purposes. Now we will look at the political and legal environments of Norway, Finland, Denmark, and Sweden. The Norwegian political system is a parliamentary constitutional monarchy, the executive which is the king, with the prime minister as head of government. The monarchy is hereditary, with elections for parliament, and the parliament choosing the prime minister. Norway has a stable and transparent government. Their legal environment is a mixed legal system of civil, common, and customary law, with a Supreme Court that is allowed to advise the legislature on various acts. Justices are appointed by the monarch upon recommendation of the Judicial Appointments Board. Affecting the U.S., Norway is not a member of the European Union, with high amounts of petroleum production that is highly controlled and regulated and mostly nationalized. Norway also has the largest sovereign wealth fund in the world with high tax rates. Swedish political system consists of a parliamentary constitutional monarchy. The king is chief of state with a prime minister as head of government. They have an elective unicameral parliament. The legal environment is a civil law system influenced by Roman Germanic law and customary law. The Supreme Court is chosen by the Board of Judges, and judges for other positions are government appointed. Sweden is a member of the EU but outside of the European Economic Zone. Many Nordic corporations are headquartered in Sweden, and American companies operate in Sweden more than any other foreign nation in Sweden, creating 72,000 jobs. The Danish political system is a parliamentary constitutional monarchy. The chief of state is the monarch, who is selected by heredity, with the head of government being the prime minister appointed by a majority coalition in parliament, or monarchy. The parliament is elected by the people. The legal environment consists of civil law, judicial review of legislative acts, judges appointed by the monarch, with recommendation of the Minister of Justice with advice from the Judicial Appointments Council. Denmark is a member of the EU with a heavy focus on renewable energy, which is a large market for U.S. defense, aerospace, telecom, and IT products. Finally, the Finnish political and legal environment consists of a political system which is a parliamentary republic. The head of state is the president, elected by a majority popular vote, and the prime minister is appointed by parliament, who is the head of government. Parliament is elected by the people. The legal environment consists of civil law based on the Swedish system, with judges on the Supreme Court appointed by the president, with two separate court systems for civil law and criminal matters. Finland is a member of the EU with a large two-way merchandise trade with the United States. Thank you for watching our video.
Well done. Thank you. I don't like what's on my screen right now. Okay. Thank you. That was well done. We're really getting a nice picture of the global consumer, and I hope you enjoyed doing this activity. I have one more thing to say to Team 5. I don't know how Hungary got into your region, but thank you for doing Hungary. Your region was more Middle East, and then Hungary is a European country, but it snuck in there. So thank you for doing it. It was a little different than the other countries there. Okay, one more to go. Team 7.
We're going to do video 2.
Video 2.
Northeast Asia region, Team 7, Erica Shapiro, Megan Young, Trevor Evans, Dalton Isaac, and Sayaka Oshima. The average household per capita in China is $8,153, which is small compared to the United States, which is $58,000. There's a large discrepancy between income classes in China. Also, there's a high level of income
goods made in the country represent a large share of exports, China intends to focus on domestic consumption due to lack of demand on the global market.
In China, they use currency called Chinese yuan. 1960, $1 equals Chinese. 2015, dollar equals 66 Chinese. That is an inflation rate for the China's exchange rates per US dollar from 1960 to 2016 went from 2.46 local currency units to 2016 went from 2.46 local currency units to 6.64 respectively. Marketing challenges arose from slowing economic growth, the government's efforts to shift the economy from one based on manufacturing to one based on services, and an unclear time frame for announced reforms. The World Bank ranks China 84th with respect to opening and running a business. They also rank them 136th for starting a business.
The average household per capita income is $43,681 American dollars, which is a little bit less than the United States, $58,000. There is some discrepancy between income per classes and the size of the country. They have a Gini coefficient based on their per capita monthly household income was of 0.499. Top 10% make 44% more than the lowest individuals.
Hong Kong is one of the world's leading international financial centers. Industries include financial services, trade, tourism, professional services. It plays a significant role in intermediating trade between mainland China and the rest of the world. The United States, Singapore, Taiwan, and Macau are among their main trade partners.
In Hong Kong, they use currency yuan in 1960 dollar is 2015 US dollar. That's an inflation rate of 2.7.
Hong Kong's exchange rates per US dollar from 1960 to 2016 went from 5.71 local currency units to 7.76 respectively. The market challenges faced in Hong Kong arose from the integration giving them greater market access and growth opportunities, and higher costs have led to the hollowing out of its manufacturing sector. Also, companies that go directly to China without sufficient due diligence may face higher costs and longer delays than if they had first engaged a Hong Kong-based intermediary.
Our four countries are studying. Japan is the strongest average household income, $47,607, which is slightly less than the United States at $58,000. There is a discrepancy between the income per classes in Japan, but there's a score of 6.07 on the social inequality, which this ranks 25 out of 38 countries that were ranked.
Japan is ranked in the top 3 economies in the world. Japan's main trade partners are China and the United States. Their main imports include beef and oil, and main exports are electronics and technology. Japan's unemployment rate has been decreasing and is expected to
not going to cheat as Japan continues to struggle with stagnation in the economy. Tsunami and earthquakes have contributed to the Japanese government taking on debt as more money is needed for infrastructure. Japan is the third largest economy in the world after the United States and China. Japan's middle class is similar to the United States, making it an attractive place for U.S. companies to come and market their products. The average household per capita income in South Korea is $33,495. It's less than the United States at $58,030. There's a discrepancy between the classes for South Korea. They do rank 19 out of 38 countries that were ranked on the social inequality scale.
South Korea's economy has been growing at an incredible rate. The government promoted importing and encouraged savings and investment over consumption. Short-term challenges include potential loss of consumer confidence due to the current political situation. Long-term challenges include an aging population, flexible labor market, and heavy reliance on export.
South Korea, 18 that is an inflation rate.
Korea is fifth in the World Bank ease of doing business, and its GDP has gone up since 2016. The Korea-USA Free Trade Agreement helps make Korea an attractive market to pursue. With more than 90% of tariffs now reduced or at zero, U.S. products are becoming increasingly cost competitive. Competitive domestic manufacturers in many sectors and pressure to reduce prices to match local firms are some of the challenges that the United States businesses can face in Korea.
Okay, well done. I'm surprised to see Japan as the third biggest economy in the world. I didn't know that for such a small country. And it was interesting because their currency is the only one that has become higher in value against the U.S. And maybe it's because they have a more mature economy that's been going on long. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the other currencies. So we pulled this off. We're a little late. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody's work. I hope you found this to be an enjoyable and interesting learning experience. It is the part of marketing, understanding markets before you try to market in them. Team 7 has a little advantage here because we're going to be doing the Asian market in our simulation, but I'm sure everybody's going to catch up. All those numbers that they showed would also be available in the simulation, possibly in different ways though. Cool?
Cool.
Can I say goodnight?
Can we ask a question about the work for Sunday and what section of the country manager simulation we're supposed to pay attention to? Can you confirm it's issues in international marketing, which looks like it might be section 2, not 4?
I think it's section 2, but I'll make sure. I think it's section 4, but I'll get back to you. I'll set it in an announcement.
All right, thank you.
What's section 4?
There is no section 4. There's the appendix.
Then it would be section 2. Thank you for correcting me on that.
All right, thank you.
I'll confirm it. And I will send out an announcement late tomorrow afternoon in regards to the assignments and class for next week. Anybody else?
don't take Buddha to Hungary.
Don't what?
Don't take your dog Buddha to Hungary if you go there.
No, I won't. I can't take it. I got to be careful bringing it over neighbors. They've had a coyote. We've seen coyotes in their backyard the last 2 mornings.
Oh my.
Just one coyote. They say one coyote gets the dog's attention and then he chases after and it brings him right back to the herd. So,
Clever.
thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Matt.
Right.
Good night.